Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Greg. I'm sending an email with this video. I guess I'm sending this video with an email. And there's an attachment on there that shows the SBA loans in the state of Missouri for FY16. Now, I'm sending you this because, one, this list contains the names and locations of companies who have borrowed money from the SBA within the past couple of years. FY16, of course, FY17 data is not out yet, but here's a good, back from my sales days, and I know many of you have sales backgrounds, this is a good list of warm sales leads. And you'll notice there are companies in here from every nook and cranny of the state, not just St. Louis and Kansas City. So as you look at these, consider these as some warm sales leads and possibly think about a strategy to approach these companies. These are companies that obviously had an issue. They needed some money to expand, to grow, to solve a problem, but they've had to borrow money within the past couple of years. So they can obviously use our assistance. Now, many of them I'm sure we did help, or some of them I'm sure we did help. But let's think about a little strategy for companies like this. Take this list, look at the ones in your area or those who you would like to work with someone else. And if you go to our portal, we have some good tools that I know we use for analysis, but let's consider these tools for marketing. And if you go to the portal, go to the financial page, you'll see up here I have the tab for Profit Sense and the Business Reference Guide. Now, because of the history I have with optometry, I'm going to kind of use, let's say I found an optometry practice on the list that you know what, I think I'd like to contact them. So what I'll do is I'll go to the Business Reference Guide and I'll type in optometry here in the search. And it will give me this report down here for optometry practices. And I can either send this report or I can copy and paste information off of this report and put it in my email under my SBTDC logo, my SBTD signature, and say, send them something to the effect, here's some financial information you may be interested in. If you'd like to discuss it, give me a call. But here's some great rules of thumb for selling a business. Seller's discretionary earnings, including inventory, annual revenues, including inventory, earnings before interest and taxes, and then earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. And of course, from this number, we know we can calculate revenues and get that coverage ratio. We get a lot of information. But if you look, here's a ton of information that we can send them that I assure you will pique their interest. The number of optometry practices, 35,000 across the country. Average profit margin, revenue per employee. This is a good number to use to make comparisons with. So we've got business reference guide information we can send to our clients, and this is all free to all of us. It's on the portal, and it will be on Clarimentis. And then next, of course, is Profit Sense. Profit Sense, if you go to industry data, type in optometry, or you can also use the NAICS code. And let's list, and nope. Office of, oh, there it is, Office of Optometrist. Let's say I want state data. Now I selected industry data, so I want Missouri. And now I can make comparisons to other practices in Missouri. I want all data, public and private. And let's say I want, there aren't going to be any optometrists over 10 million, but let's say I want under $1 million in sales, okay, just for comparisons to send to these practices. Now, what this is going to give me is ratios. It's going to give me what a common balance sheet might look like, a common income statement. And as we'll see in this one, you always have to look at the sample size. So in this one, the sample size is 39 over the 5 years. So that's a pretty good sample for optometrists. If you want to expand the sample size, you can obviously go to region or national. Now remember, we're just giving comparisons for marketing purposes. What we want to do is we want to get our hands on their financials so we can do the analysis. But we're sending them some information that's meaningful to them, and they may not understand why it's meaningful to them. So then we can go and explain these numbers. We can explain these ratios. Now, many of you are like me. I mean, I can talk some of the financial language, but these little ratios right here, I despise, so I don't use them. But if a company does ask for them, and I do use them, we have a list of what I'll call financial wizards across our state. And some of those, let me get my list out here. Some of those might be Crystal Irons, Kevin Wilson, Ken Serbrug, Justin Schultz, whose boss told me yesterday he had wicked technical financial skills, Chris Thompson, Isabel Eisenhower, and Rebecca Labina. Now, that's just my list of what I call financial wizards that will be more than happy to help you understand some of these numbers. And if there's some you don't understand, you know what? Take them off. You just copy and paste the ones you do understand and send them in to the client. But the idea is to give your client something that intrigues him or her, and something that you can either help them with personally or pull in one of our financial wizards or someone else you may know that can help with this client. So here's a good chance for us to reach out to some warm sales leads on some clients that we know have borrowed money from the SBA. And I just thought you could use these tools. And if you have any suggestions, give me a call. Thanks.